आदरणीय डॉक्टर C.P. जोशी जी, ऑनरेबल स्पीकर, श्री अशोक गहलोत, चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफ राजस्थान, श्री गुलाब चंद कटारिया, लीडर ऑफ द ऑपोजिशन, श्री शांति कुमार धारीवाल, पार्लियामेंट्री अफेयर्स मिनिस्टर, members of the Rajasthan Legislative Assembly, friends, ladies and gentlemen. I am very happy to be with you today to meet the honorable members of the Rajasthan Legislative Assembly and amongst the representatives of one of the most progressive states of our country, with Shri C.P. Joshi as its Honorable Speaker, Shri Ashok Gehlout as the Chief Minister, and a very balanced and a sensitive opposition led by esteemed Shri Gulab Chand Kataria. At the outset, I would like to congratulate each one of you on your election to the Rajasthan Legislative Assembly. The electoral approval that the people of Rajasthan have given you warrants that you make every effort to be in their service at all times. I am very happy and impressed that almost all members of the Rajasthan legislature have come to attend this orientation program. This shows your interest and keenness to enhance your understanding of the legislative practices and procedures. There could have been no better occasion than this orientation workshop, wherein the changing nature of parliamentary democracy in our country stands a chance to be better understood and evaluated. The orientation workshop for a dynamic Rajasthan has immense potential and promise. It is time for a meaningful exposition of the promises made to the people of Rajasthan. Ladies and gentlemen, the idea behind organizing this orientation program is to familiarize the newly elected members of the legislature with the rules and procedures and working of parliamentary practices, and to inculcate in them the true sense of their role and position as the representatives of the people of Rajasthan. I am sure that the present orientation program will further sharpen the legislative acumen and help you all to discharge your legislative responsibilities more effectively. An MLA is a representative elected by the voters of an electoral district to the legislature of a state in the Indian system of government. An MLA has various functions and he has enormous power as well. Most important among them is the legislative power, which is the power to frame laws on all items in the state list and the concurrent list. Next is the financial power, which is the fiscal responsibility. It exercises control over the finances of the state and has to approve the budget presented by the state government. The executive power is expected to oversee and monitor all the programs and schemes that the executive implements. MLAs are expected to ensure that the government does its job responsibly, transparently, impartially, and in line with the decisions taken by the political executive. Electoral power of the MLAs elected is their responsibility in electing the President of India along with the elected members of Parliament. State legislature have the power to amend some parts of the Indian Constitution as well. This is known as constitutional powers of MLAs, where some parts of the Indian Constitution can be amended by Parliament only with the approval of half the state legislatures. Ladies and gentlemen, besides these powers, MLAs have a great role in the development activities of their area. Especially for this purpose, Local Area Development Fund is allocated to every MLA. Previously, the fund was rupees 1 crore per annum. In a move to increase the pace of developmental work in Rajasthan, the state government, under the leadership of my esteemed friend Shri Ashok Gehlot, in the year 2012, raised the fund limit for members of the State Legislative Assembly to the tune of rupees 2 crores per annum for the development of their constituencies. My humble submission to you is to utilize the allocated amount for promotion of infrastructure, construction of schools, hospitals, which can be beneficial to a large number of people in your respective constituencies. I have seen some news items some time ago that according to the Controller and Auditor General report, Rajasthan saw a mere 21.05% utilization of the MLA Local Area Development Fund from 2011 to 2016. A huge unspent fund of rupees 1,093.11 crore, that is 60.73% of the amount allocated for the 5-year period, remained unutilized in the personal deposit accounts of the Zilla Parishads at the end of March 2016. The report reveals. I would like to appeal to every MLA to utilize the full amount allotted to them for the development works of their respective constituencies in a meaningful manner. It is a matter of privilege and honor to be a people's representative. This privilege came with its heavy responsibility as well. An MLA's primary duty is to be sensitive and responsive to the needs, the necessities, and problems of his constituency, besides actively participating in the legislative business. An MLA is the link between the people who have elected him or her and the legislature of which he or she is a member, and between the government and the people. The legislators must interact with the people about the imperatives of democracy and how democracy should be nurtured and nourished, and also set standards of exemplary behavior as a legislature both within and outside the House. They should raise the important issues in the Assembly by various means as per rules and procedures of the Assembly, as well as raise questions on important matters to the concerned ministers. You should regularly attend the House to observe how each and every matter is raised and discussed in the House by the senior members. The greatness of our legislative institutions lies in the fact that they are representative bodies of the largest working democracy in the world. That being so, the content and the quality of debates that take place in Parliament and the legislative assemblies should be of a high order, befitting our status and representation. As you are all aware, the proceedings are now being telecast live in Parliament and I believe in many of the state assemblies. It is regrettable that sometimes the legislatures indulge in unruly behavior in some state assemblies and Parliament, which pains me very much. Such incidents create a wrong impression on the younger generation on the image of the Assembly and Parliament. While discharging your responsibilities as a legislature, you will come across several challenging situations that present themselves as challenges to a functioning democracy and also affect the public opinion at large. To address such concern, one has to have a human approach besides the knowledge and willingness to make the benefits of particular policies known to the masses, as well as seek a balance between the views of the legislator and the executive in effective discharge of their responsibilities. The government as well as the opposition should have a broader perspective regarding the exigencies the state has to deal with time and again, and they should cooperate with each other irrespective of the political parties they may represent. Ladies and gentlemen, a legislator can play his or her role effectively for the progress and the prosperity of the people if he makes use of all available opportunities and takes part actively and energetically in the legislative, financial, and other business of the House. As such, he or she should contribute their share in full in the scrutiny of the performance of the government as well as for redressal of public grievances. It is the legislators and the administrators of Rajasthan who have laid the foundations of Rajasthan's impressive development. If Rajasthan is one of our foremost states, one of the most agriculturally, industrially, and educationally developed state, it is because of the high quality of its political leadership and the administrative machinery which is there to support this leadership. I compliment the members of the Panchayat Raj institutions, members of the State Legislative Assembly, and of all the administrative services for the good work they have done to take Rajasthan forward. An essential quality required to be developed by a legislator is the habit of listening to others, particularly if they happen to be your opponents. We should always remember that a democratic system of governance grows with the spirit of cooperation and consensus that holds the key to success, and we should all strive to make the legislature a cradle for the promotion of consensus. As you know, the presiding officer is the custodian of the rights and privileges of members. The chair endeavors to transact business of the House through the rules of procedures, established conventions, and tradition. The chair represents the dignity of the House, and that being so, it is imperative that members should show utmost respect to the presiding officer. If the legislature has to transact business in a smooth and efficient manner, the chair needs unstinted cooperation from all sections of the House. To become an effective legislator, it is important for you to be well acquainted with the constitutional provisions, the rules of procedures and conduct of business, and the customs and conventions of your legislature, and more importantly, to follow them scrupulously. You should spare some time to study issues which are of interest to you. You can also take the help of officers in the library and research and reference division of your secretariat in understanding subjects from a wider, proper perspective. By prioritizing the subjects and by developing time management skills, you will be able to make a good impact in the House. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sure in this assembly, where the voice of the people of Rajasthan will be articulated by their representatives, we will hear the echo of your glorious past. Problems of farmers, development of infrastructure, education and healthcare should receive your priority attention. I hope the members of Rajasthan legislature and its civil servants will show the way forward to the rest of India. A few days ago, a distinguished academician pointed out that there are dangers that the politics of fear may take over the politics of hope. People depend upon legislators like you to ensure that the politics of fear does not prevail over the politics of hope which this country needs. Our country's basic problems are problems of poverty, ignorance and disease which still afflict millions and millions of our people. You, ladies and gentlemen, as legislators, know the problems firsthand as nobody else does. Therefore, it should be your priority to bring confidence among the people that they are under your distinguished leadership, which will allow them to lead a life of contentment and happiness. I am extremely optimistic about our future as a nation, and I ask that we continue our journey on the path of democracy by imbibing these words of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. He said, I hope that we shall look into the future with a stout heart and with confidence in ourselves. Unquote. I take this opportunity once again to thank Dr. C.P. Joshi, Honorable Speaker, for inviting me for this important function, and to congratulate you all and convey my very best wishes for the role that you have been chosen from. I thank you.
धन्यवाद माननीय। देश के चहुमुखी विकास के लिए आपके योगदान को भुलाया नहीं जा सकेगा, अविस्मरणीय रहेगा। और आज का ये आयोजन स्वर्णिम अभिलाषाओं से सिंचित है, लेकिन राजस्थान विधानसभा के प्रबोधन कार्यक्रम की स्मृतियाँ माननीय लंबे समय तक आपके जहन में रहे, इसके लिए हम आपको स्मृति चिन्ह भेंट करना चाहते हैं। माननीय अध्यक्ष राजस्थान विधानसभा, आपसे आग्रह माननीय मुख्य अतिथि महोदय को ये स्मृति चिन्ह भेंट करें।